What is going on, Sports Wars? We're here. We're live. It still feels a little bit like Christmas, but with all these damn NFL games, what do we have left for Sunday? That's kind of what it feels like at this point. You got fucking NFL on every day of the week. But
yeah.
God, that Baby Yoda's driving me nuts, John. But we do have our normal guest, John Matrix. What's up, John?
Oh, not much, man. Baby Yoda is pretty much safe. What's left of Star Wars, so...
Oh boy, don't get Ryan started.
I can't wait till he gets slaughtered by Kylo Ren.
I know.
Perfection.
That's another channel for
like
another
Baby
story.
Yoda. Yeah, I like Baby Yoda. I like Baby Yoda.
Yep.
There you go. Well, speaking of Pride Month, Jeremy, like Baby Yoda, how's it going?
I mean, look, just should I say? Yeah, you know what? The fur around your mouth, it doesn't make it feel like a mouth. So that's what I've been pretending. So. You know,
he got that Fitzmagic facial hair.
Yeah,
going.
It feels like a taco. So good job, man. Just swallow.
I'm gonna walk
around
with Deshaun Jackson's thing with my chest hair just popping out. That's what I'm gonna be doing next.
I'm doing okay. Once again, I've been proven right. Tom Brady is the reason that New England had all of the success that they've had over the last 20 years. New England sitting at home, can't even finish the season before they're knocked out of the playoffs, and Tampa Bay is going to the playoffs for the first time in 13 years. Tom Brady's the difference.
Let me interject because I've been meaning to get this off of my chest, man. This has been bothering me. They announced the Pro Bowls. How in the hell did Kyler Murray make the Pro Bowl over Tom Brady?
I think Tom Brady probably now again I haven't followed it much, but usually Tom Brady declines the invitation every year.
But this year, I'm talking about selection.
They still select him, though.
Yeah, so he didn't even
Brady's
get
numbers are better across the board.
That's actually interesting. I didn't even know that.
I didn't even hear that either.
I didn't even hear that. When did they announce that?
Yeah,
about a week or two ago.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, they did.
That's crazy.
Let's see. NFL Pro Bowl.
Diversity. Yeah. That's why.
They didn't want
John. You didn't get John. You're not here because you're a good guy and you know your sports and all that. You're just here because you're black. We don't care about your opinion.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray.
That's ridiculous.
And Russell Wilson, man, has really fallen.
He fell off. Now
he fell off a cliff.
I have always really I like Russell Wilson. I think he's a great guy. I've always in the past said that he was I never called him overrated, but I did say he was a little overhyped because I felt like that team. Yeah, I felt like that team was more important to his success. But honestly, I've kind of been proven wrong. But he has been phenomenal the last several years. He did fall off though. The first half of the season, he looked like he was playing Madden. He
was record breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first 5-6 weeks in last month or so.
Yeah,
he hadn't been good. Tom Brady's clearly been better than him.
Yeah. I mean, Brady. It's taken some time for them to find their rhythm, and I don't know if I'm not necessarily saying they're not gonna. I'm not saying they're gonna win the Super Bowl or anything like that. They have a chance, and they've been really hot the last couple of weeks against lesser competition. They're going to go face the Falcons again next week. So they'll probably finish the season very strong.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how everything plays out once the playoffs start.
Yeah. I said they would go 11-5 and 11-5 before the season. It looks like that's going to happen.
To me, Tom Brady is the greatest athlete in American sports history. Yes, probably better than Jordan. So. He's better than Jordan.
Ooh.
And I can't believe how much this dude just continues to prove everything wrong. No matter what they throw at this motherfucker, he proves everybody wrong. Oh, it was Belichick. Oh, it was the AFC East. Oh, and then now what is the excuse? He's in he's playing in the NFC. Now it's like it's constant changing, and it's like the same. The last time the Patriots missed the playoffs, do you know when that was? It was 2008
when Brady was out.
And guess who was out?
Yeah, 07 he was out. No, 08,
yeah. And that was the last time Tom Brady missed an entire season due to injury.
Isn't that the last time the Bucks were in the playoffs too? Ironically,
yes, that was 2007.
Seven. Yeah. So,
looks like we have the connection right there. Proven.
But yeah, I mean, his numbers are, obviously his interceptions are a little high, and that's kind of a Bruce Arians thing.
He's been throwing the ball downfield a whole lot.
A lot more than he wants to. But his numbers are great. He's tied for third. Now, he's got a game up on a couple of people, so he'll probably be like 5th overall. But yeah, look at that. Look at the comparison.
Yeah, that to me, like, now Kyler Murray is probably going to have 1,000 yards rushing, which I guess you do have to take that into effect here. Let's see if I can find. Like, it doesn't show me his totals right now for rushing. Oh, he is the number one.
You have to go to
guy, though.
You have to go to stats. Click on stats.
Yeah, there he is.
And then scroll down and it'll show you rushing.
Rushing.
Oh,
so he's got 816. So he probably won't quite get there, but he'll get to 900 or so. So that is a big factor, and the fact that he has 11 rushing touchdowns, you can't ignore that.
Yeah.
So that is a big deal. It's tough though. That's a tough comparison, but you would imagine that Brady would have got the nod, to be honest with you, over Kyler, but it's Kyler. Now, one of those guys is for sure probably not going to play, and Tom Brady will end up there. But yeah, a little bit of a snub, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I can say this pretty confidently. I doubt we'll ever see a 43-year-old quarterback playing like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I just don't see it. I mean, I don't even know if Patrick Mahomes is going to last. Aaron Rodgers is not going to last 43, I think. Yes, he's had a bounce-back season, but the previous 3 seasons, he was average. Oh, a little better than average, I would say, for the most part. But I just don't see it.
He was pretty awesome yesterday. Obviously, yes, I know it was against the Lions. But when people start making that like, oh, it was against this, it was against the NFL team. All right, has everybody went 22 for 27 for nearly 400 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Lions? No, wasn't Aaron Rodgers struggled just a few weeks ago with them? Drew Brees struggled early in the season with the Lions.
Drew Brees looks like he's about done the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
he looks awful.
So, I mean, we'll see.
He doesn't have any ribs left. all of Drew Brees' ribs got broken.
Yeah.
Somehow. I've never heard of someone having 13 fractured ribs. I didn't even know he had that many.
John,
Aaron Rodgers was all-time horrible against the Bucs.
Yeah, he was. Now, John has not seen Fitz magic from yesterday, so we're going to have to show him Fitz magic. That was insane. That
was crazy. Hello to everybody coming in. We're going to talk a little bit. There has been football every fucking day. You had Thursday night game. You had a Friday game on Christmas. Then you had 2 Saturday games. At least 2, right? Maybe more.
It's so hard to keep up.
There was 3 games.
3 games yesterday.
Yeah.
There's 3 games yesterday.
Yeah, there was a middle game yesterday too.
The NFL is desperately trying to do everything they can to make sure they put themselves in the best position to have as good a ratings as they can. Because as we talked about a lot last week, the ratings just aren't very good, and advertisers are leaving in droves because of the disappointing ratings. But this happened last night, which was crazy. Tua once again gets replaced by Fitzpatrick. Now,
man,
why did they actually replace Tua? Because he was struggling? I know his yards per attempt were horrible.
Yeah, I feel like they're just very much protecting him. I don't feel like you see too many balls downfield. It's a lot of short, a lot of rollout stuff with him. But they bring Fitzpatrick in there. He goes down, scores a touchdown. The defense immediately gives up a big play to the Raiders, who kick a field goal. Think everything is going to be fine. There's 18 seconds left on the clock. The Dolphins get the ball. And, they don't have any timeouts left. It's a pretty desperate situation, to be honest with you. But this is what happens.
If Fitzpatrick can pull a trick out. He got hit as he lost.
Wow.
Blown coverage.
Just finds this hole in that cover 2. But that's not the most impressive thing.
Inbounds at the 41.
Unbelievable.
Then you see Fitzpatrick doing this. You're like, what was that all about? Well, watch this. Here, let's pause it so we don't get fucking copyrighted. Goddamn NFL.
That happened to us yesterday on Geeks and Gamers. Whole fucking live stream got blocked.
Yeah. Here we go.
Wow.
Look at it.
He just threw it up for grabs.
Well, yeah, I mean, he knew where he was throwing it. The guy was wide open. But, yeah, he just got wrecked. The fact that he was able to get that off, that's impressive. And that's just so stereotypical Ryan Fitzpatrick Fitzmagic. It is what it is. And honestly, like, to me, I don't really know what the Dolphins are doing, because they are right there. have they secured a playoff spot? They're definitely right there.
I think
the last night's win actually secured it for them.
I think all the teams that are going to be in, but I think it's a matter of seeding, really.
Well, I know they eliminated the Raiders with that play right there. With that play, they eliminated the Raiders. Let me see if I can get to standings here, and it'll show me who's clinched. The Dolphins have not yet clinched a spot. They have not yet clinched a spot. They're 10-5. But you have the Ravens at 9-5, the Browns at 10-4, the Titans at 10-4, the Colts at 10-4. So it is fucking packed right there in these last couple spots in the AFC. It's going to be close, but they have Tua starting. Then when he gets in trouble, they immediately pull the plug and put in Fitzpatrick for these like major moments. So I don't really know what their plan is. To me, isn't that got to be like discouraging to Tua? The fact that anytime the game's actually on the line, you bring somebody else in.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it has something to do with how he viewed what happened at Alabama with Jalen Hurts and Tua, and how they had a couple of changes there. Maybe they think that Tua is okay with it, but it doesn't make sense. Either commit to your young quarterback that you spend an early draft pick on, or not. I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, obviously they're winning. It's working for them, but it doesn't seem like it's a good move for the long-term confidence of Tua. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, this is a guy who proved himself in college, won a national championship, has the single best passer rating in the history of college football, or it might be second now. Either way, his numbers are insane. And now, like, he just gets pulled when the moment gets a little tough. I don't understand. This is a guy who walked into the national championship game in the second half for the first time and brought Alabama back when they're getting destroyed. It doesn't make sense to me at all. It makes no sense.
And I see Lord Chambers, playoffs are on the line, no hard feelings. It's not really about that. What it's about to me is it's clear that Fitzpatrick is their best option. Like, Fitzpatrick is he is going to make more plays. He is going to be better for them than Tua. So if you're going to start Tua with that knowledge, then what are you doing? Are you actually trying to go as far as you can this season? Are you trying to develop Tua? Like, what exactly is the plan? Because if they wanted to win the most football games they could, they would just play Ryan Fitzpatrick, bottom fucking line. He is their best option.
The Dolphins didn't win because of that decision. They won on a lot of fluky bullshit yesterday. It wasn't because of the decision. And I mean, like, okay, I'm an Alabama fan, and Alabama just had a really tough game against the Gators. All right. And that was needed for Alabama. Alabama's dominated this whole season, and going into the college football playoffs, they needed to be tested to help them for that moment on the bigger stage. If you're trying to make the playoffs and Tua is your starting quarterback and you're going to pull him every time things get tough, that's not going to prepare him for the moment in the playoffs where he needs to be tested in the regular season. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't like this at all. And I don't know what they're thinking. I really don't.
I mean, I wouldn't have pulled Tua. I mean, Tua is the future. He's going to have to learn eventually. I mean, you can't just pull him out for Fitzpatrick, because one thing about Fitzpatrick, man, it seems like he's been in the league like 30 years. He's been a journeyman the whole 30 years he's been in the league. But they're going to have to, unchain Tua, man. If he makes a mistake, you got to stick with him, because how else is he really going to learn?
Right. I mean, because again, tested in college, that's one thing. NFL is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And he needs to be tested in the NFL by the NFL players in those moments. And I just think this is going to backfire on the Dolphins.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, what are they doing? Like, that's what I haven't understood from the beginning. Like, if you're just going to throw in the towel and say, all right, hey, listen, Tua's our guy. We're going to let him do his thing. Even if we lose, even if we miss out on the playoffs, boom, that's it. But, I either fucking play to win or don't. That's kind of how I see it, especially if I was on that team. Like, if I'm on this team, we're 10-4. But you're still going with like the development for Tua instead of giving you the best chance to win. I'd be frustrated if I were a player in that locker room. But
it kind of reminds me. What if, remember in the Super Bowl 2001, Brady's playing against
Rams.
The Rams. And remember John Madden was saying, just take it easy for halftime or whatever. What if Bill Belichick pulled out Brady and put in Drew Bledsoe? It's kind of similar. I know the stakes on is high.
It is, but I guess the best way to look at this is what happened in the national championship game with Alabama and Georgia.
Jalen Hurts, man, that was amazing.
And Jalen Hurts, we all knew that Tua was the better option, but Nick Saban was sticking with Jalen Hurts as long as he possibly could. He loved Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts. And Alabama was getting destroyed in that.
He was not good in that game.
He was not good. So Nick Saban not only made a momentary decision to bring Tua in, it was also a decision for the future. And he knew if Tua comes in here, we got nothing to lose. We're getting smoked. We're not moving the ball. Tua comes in, wins the game, wins the national championship, and essentially becomes the Alabama quarterback for the future. And that's it. Again, it's strange. And again, they're winning games. But what are you trying to do? If you're just trying to make the playoffs, then you're going to make the playoffs and you're going to get smoked. If you're trying to build for the future, then you need to leave him in, hopefully make the playoffs after he's been tried and tested in a few tight games. But we'll see how it all plays out. I think it's going to backfire. You're not going to get Fitz magic every week like you did yesterday.
Yeah,
no.
I wasn't watching the game. I was just doing other shit, and then I got an alert that Tua got benched again, and I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" So then I just flipped it on to see, and this immediately Fitzpatrick starts driving him down the field. Fucking, it was pretty crazy. Let me hit some of these super chats, guys. We got almost 700 people in here. Thanks for hanging out. Bweezy Bird for $5. TNT, the players, etc., are still promoting Black Lives Matter stuff in the NBA. Adam Silver lied that he was going to cut that stuff out. Well, we're going to talk about the NBA next. Bweezy Bird, thank you very much.
I'm interested to hear more about
commercials. Is it commercials? Because I don't know if the NBA has any control over that.
It's not on the court, right?
No.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying is the players are still fucking pushing all the rhetoric, and that TNT, when you watch TNT, the pregame show and all that bullshit, they're focusing on it. I can't speak to it because I didn't watch any fucking.
I haven't watched
NBA games.
Me neither. I haven't watched it either.
That is a fucking religion to me, honestly. I've for over a decade, whenever it's Christmas, I fucking turn on the NBA and I just watch it all day, regardless of whether my family fucking wants it or not. I fucking put it on.
Yeah. But they're not showing the anthem though. I haven't seen the anthem yet.
I haven't seen the anthem. I was looking for clips of it. I didn't see it. And it's just it is a thing. Like Christmas, you get these big games, always great matchups, and you have they wear their Christmas jerseys and everything. It's a big thing for the NBA, and it was an absolute fucking catastrophe for them on Christmas. This day that should be huge for them. Massive ratings drop. Absolutely fucking incredible. Almost 40% drop in ratings. Embarrassing for the NBA. Yeah. After they said, we're not going to do any of this BLM. We're going to tone down on this stuff because the owners knew that it was bad for business. Adam Silver realized how bad it was for business. That fucking cuck. I hate Adam Silver.
But it was too late. It was too late, man.
I compare Dana White to Adam Silver.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, that's about the only thing they have in common. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't watch any NBA at all, had no interest in it. And I, like Ryan, historically I've always looked forward to those Christmas Day games. They're always good matchups. It's just kind of a tradition to just turn those games on. Even if you're not going to watch every game, just having that on is just background noise. It's part of Christmas. And this is what the NBA has done to their product, to their fan base. All by this nonsense with politics. They just can't get out of their own way. And if they continue on this path, they're going to continue to lose ratings, and people are fed up with this shit.
Yep. You saw Outkick actually has an article that the NBA needs to apologize to Hong Kong to save itself. Now we know that's never going to happen because they're back in bed with China again.
Yeah. Never going to happen.
There was an article about Daryl Morey saying he was scared for his life or some shit because
all for his family.
Yeah, all the stuff that happened after he was vocally supportive of Hong Kong.
Yeah, because nobody in the NBA had his back.
No.
LeBron James is saying that Daryl Morey was uneducated when The fact was, Daryl Morey was very educated because he was in school in Hong Kong. And he talked to people. But LeBron James just makes this dumbass assumption that Daryl Morey, who has an MBA from MIT, is uneducated.
LeBron James is a literal fucking retard. LeBron James can't speak to anybody about education.
Is he the dumbest person in sports?
I think so.
No, he's not. He's not the dumbest, but he he is not intelligent, but he acts like he is. That's the problem.
Here's one thing though: LeBron James is a smart basketball player.
Oh yeah, he's great basketball IQ.
He has a very high NBA IQ. There's no
actual
doubt
IQ
about that.
room temperature.
Yeah,
but he knows nothing about economics.
He is a very
about
dumb
government.
Person. He's a very dumb person, though.
Yeah.
He's a very smart businessman. At least he's surrounding himself with people that are good with that. That's fine. That's not what we're talking about, because I've often talked about LeBron's basketball IQ. I think it's insanely high, but as a everyday person, he is incredibly ignorant and dumb, and he has been led to believe that he is smart because of his celebrity status and the way that the media treats him, because he can play basketball very good. They've made him believe that his political opinions are important and he's making a difference. And in reality, he's very dumb. And the more he talks, the more it's obvious that he's very, very ignorant.
Yeah. All he does is follow the trend. He's not at the forefront of anything.
Right.
I got a couple highlights. I got a couple LeBron James highlights I wanted to show you guys from his Christmas Day performance. LeBron James, just incredible in every way. Let's take a look. This was him. I don't know what the fuck this was. It's not like time is running out or anything. This is just wanted to shoot a floater from 3. Brick.
Oh, wow.
Just absolute fucking brick. Look at this. Okay.
It wasn't even close.
Why did he do that?
I could get it. Listen, if the clock was a little closer to 24 seconds and he couldn't have just shot a normal 3, right? Like something like that to try to get an extra possession. Okay, I can see it. That was so stupid. That makes no sense.
That looked like when you're just like when you walk on a court and your boys are playing and like they're about to take a break and the ball bounces to you and you're just like, let me toss it up real quick. It's just a bad shot. Like that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, and this was a little more his range, to be honest with you. Free throws, you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
What happened?
He's gotten worse at free throws.
Play that again.
He's Oof. God damn. God damn. That's fucking rough.
That's bad.
But that's LeBron James right there. That's LeBron James. And he said he had some excuse. It was like some stupid tongue-in-cheek thing. He thought he was being funny about wine. But that was the reason he fucking missed his free throw. It was so stupid. He was like, when I drink wine, it goes straight down the left side of my body. He tried to make a joke about it. Let's listen to him. At least he tried to be funny about what a shit free throw shooter he is. Let's see.
The wine goes from straight down to the left side of my body. Tonight, I shot the free throw with my right hand, so it did not have bad side effects. So I'm gonna see if I can drink some wine. If I can shoot it down to the right side of my body, maybe it'll help my free throw, and it'll give me a little bit more strength to where it doesn't hit absolutely nothing. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I need to do it upside down tonight, maybe vampire style. We'll see.
Yeah, it's really funny. LeBron James, what a great story. He's so intelligent. Look at what he made up on the fly. He's so witty and funny. What a dumb bitch.
Wow.
But you know, it's clear that even though the NBA specifically has been moving away from the messaging and realizing how bad that was, that everyone remembers. You can't just fucking put the genie back in the bottle. When your entire organization comes out and says, if you don't agree with us, go fuck yourself. If you don't agree with us, fucking get out of here. We don't want you watching, you racist, homophobe bigot. is it really that much of a surprise that they're not just going to come running back to you?
Yep.
What was it, John? Like about 3.5 million people watched. Was that the average?
Something like that. And that
Here
was
3.74 million total audience. Got beat at
50% down from last season, and last season was bad.
It was bad. Yeah.
Yes, and you're talking about WWE SmackDown beating you at certain points of your broadcast.
At some point, the ratings are only going to be dropping like a 5% or 3%. That's because they've just bled everything out to where they just can't lose anymore. And they're like, see, the ratings are only dropping 3%. Well, that's because you've dropped
bottomed out
about 75% of your audience already. At some point, you can't keep. There's not going to be any audience to lose, man, because it was bad last year, and the fact that they dropped 50% again. These are massive numbers. You can't get people. You can't get people into the arenas because of all of the beer bug nonsense. And you can't get people to watch on TV. I mean, your TV rating should be improving, if anything, because people can't go to the arena to watch. This is crazy, but this is social justice right here. Like you go back and again, I'm old enough, but I remember back in the day, just. The NBA on NBC, when it would come on and it was like an event, and this would just be a normal regular season game, but you were hyped about that shit, man. Yep. You were worked up, you were ready. And now, like, the NBA is not about basketball. It's not about competition. It's not about sports. It's about political propaganda, and it's about alienating your customers if they don't agree with you. This is happening everywhere, but the NBA took it to the next level. And look, again, UFC. I'm not even a UFC guy, but Dana White has it perfect. Let players be who they want to be. Let them have their opinions. But when you start silencing one side of the equation like the NBA does, this is where the biggest aspect of it happens. Nobody in the NBA can go pro-Trump. We saw what happened with Daryl Morey. You can't have any opinion that goes against the narrative. And if you do, you get treated like shit. That is what's happening in the NBA. It is a legit echo chamber.
And trust and believe, there are some pro-Trump players, but they wouldn't dare say anything.
Absolutely.
Because they would be over.
Yeah. No, there's no way.
Now, I'm not talking about white ones. I'm talking about black ones too. I mean, it's just a statistical impossibility if it wasn't.
Yeah. Let's get through some of these super chats, guys. Thank you. Chris Curran for $2. Go Brady. He had a great game.
Yes.
Boise Bird for $1.99. I forgot about this. Example, TNT interviewed Stacey Abrams in the first game.
For what?
Because she's fat and black, I guess. I don't know.
That's the problem, man. She has nothing to do with sports.
Nothing. She's in Georgia, which is where TNT Studios is at.
Yeah.
I have no idea. We have to go watch it and roast it probably. But I totally forgot about that Boise Bird. And that's TNT doing that shit. Vandom 420 for $5. LeBron is doing something Jordan never did, making people not watch him.
Yep.
That's 100% right. The ratings for that 98 Jazz series are so fucking astronomical.
When did 38 million
38
people?
million watch Game 7, yeah.
5 million people watched last year.
That's insane, man.
That's fucking nuts, dude. Whoever the fake drunk 3PO account is doing a really good job of pretending to be drunk 3PO with like the misspellings and like being like, you took my wrench away. I guess that's okay. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's good attempts. Let's see. This comment is not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends for $5. For LaChina James, Confucius say, the emptiest vessel make the loudest noise. There you go. He's fucking loud, and the problem is his words have power. That's really the problem. Is that people actually look up to LeBron James and say, actually look up to LeBron James and say, we should consider what he says as truth. We should take what he has like at face value. This is real. We are being hunted. And then what do you have in LA? You have fucking sheriff's deputies that are ambushed by someone. Yep. Your fucking rhetoric, your bullshit lies have consequences, LeBron. and that's what we're seeing.
Has LeBron spoken out and praised all the police officers in Nashville?
Oh, of course not.
Exactly, because he's a bitch, and it's all about like he has no problem speaking out when he can manipulate a situation and paint all police officers bad.
At least I don't think so. I'm gonna look it up.
I haven't heard anything.
I doubt it. There was no black man abused. Allegedly, so I doubt LeBron's even aware it happened.
Yeah.
Nah, he hadn't really tweeted since he tweeted yesterday, but he didn't tweet on Christmas. So nope, nothing.
Heroic Avenger 96 for $5. Hey guys, will the gaming live stream go back online on the main channel? It got copyright struck, didn't catch all of it. It got blocked. It did not. It's not an actual strike, but it did get blocked for like some.
We probably need.
We should edit it out.
We probably just need to edit it out. But here's what's stupid about it is it's a fucking leaked trailer from Comic-Con in what 2011, and. Yeah. That fucking video is still on YouTube on some random ass nobody channel that somebody uploaded. And we got our video blocked for playing the fucking video that's still available on YouTube. So YouTube is stupid. So dumb.
There you go. Yeah. So we'll edit it out. It'll get back up. And I am planning today.
Jay said that is him.
What?
Is it really? He says that really is me. How did what the fuck? How do you not have a wrench? I just thought it was somebody pretending to be him.
Misspelling words.
All right, I added it back.
That's good. Oh God.
Whoops. It's gone. You should be good now. I just added it.
It takes a few minutes
right.
Sometimes it takes some time. So that's hilarious that we
Well, I was like, there's no way it would have been like removed. It's just got to be somebody fucking trying to get a wrench, right? The first thing he says is like the Miami Dolphins will beat the LA Lakers or something. Yeah. So I thought it was just somebody trolling him.
See, I wish YouTube would actually let you click on a person again, and it'll take you to
it doesn't
channel.
let you do it anymore. So it's hard to tell if somebody's actually got a fake account now. It's actually really difficult.
Yeah, I don't get that shit. Doesn't make any sense. But we will edit that out and it'll go back up. And then also today I'm going to spend some time getting caught up on the podcast feed. So yeah, I'm not sure why that happened, but we'll get it fixed. Anthony Arribas for $4.99. Sports Wars will be the new sports center of this country. Mark my words. Keep grinding, fellas. Well, thank you for the confidence, Anthony. We appreciate that. We're just going to keep doing our thing.
Hey, and we got like 900 people in here. You guys also subscribe to Black and White Sports, John Matrix and Roach channel. They do a fantastic job as well. Their channel's growing just as much as ours, and we're growing together. So if you guys like what we have, you're gonna love what they have. So good stuff.
That's right. Charles W. Jansen II for $5. C-3PO is a translation droid, not a spelling droid. This is the result of a very well-oiled 3PO. Thank you very much, Charles Jansen, for the super chat. Stalin Cespedes for some kind of money. I don't know what that is. The American people need to punish NBA so hard they think twice before they go woke. LeBron James is the Ryan Johnson of the NBA.
Wow. That's a good point.
Yeah, and listen, I think that has already happened to a point to the owners, but the players don't understand those ramifications. The players are so short-sighted. The players only care about what's going in their pocket at that moment. They don't understand what the ramifications of these ratings mean. They're like, my paycheck still stays the same. Well, yeah, until the next collective bargaining agreement, until the next time the advertisers pull their money back and don't pay you as much the next time those contracts are up. Then all of a sudden, the salary cap drops, the contracts drop. That's how it will work if you continue. But the players are too fucking retarded to think like that. So I think at the higher level, they have realized that.
So I guess that Adam Silver then is Kathleen Kennedy then.
Yeah, you just let LeBron do whatever he wanted to do. No, it's not. That's like an actual one. Like, you can actually make that comparison.
Yeah, it's just look, I think that's a good explanation. I think it gives Ryan Johnson a little too much credit, but at the same time, Ryan Johnson has done great things when he is controlled. I talked about his Ozymandias episode of Breaking Bad. It's got a 10. It's got a 10 on IMDb. Users. I looked that up the other day, Ryan, after you told me what the Mandalorian season 2 had. But yeah, he that's the only episode that has a ton of reviews that has a 10 out of 10 that I could find.
Yeah. Knives Out got great reviews.
So Ryan Johnson's a competent director. He's a very good director, just as LeBron James is a very good basketball player. But if you don't keep people in check, when you have bad leadership and you just let these people do whatever they want, you get The Last Jedi and you get ratings tanking by 50% every year. I think that's a fair assessment for sure.
Solo lost money and the NBA lost money this season.
That's right. That's right.
Keely Chow says Ryan Leaf is the Brie Larson of NFL quarterbacks. Listen, Ryan Leaf at least fucking turned around. He's funny as fuck now if you listen to him. He's actually entertaining to listen to.
Can we listen to his freak out?
Ryan Leaf's freak out?
Yeah.
If you could pull it up.
Let's see.
When he went off on that reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Kaiser for $10 super sticker, #1 fan, little pear-shaped man jumping up and down. Thank you very much, Carl Kaiser. We appreciate that. Bald Ryan for $5. NBA on NBC Sunday triple header was an event back in the day. Now I don't even care to know when the NBA is on. Love you guys. Yeah, like that's the thing for me that's so crazy is I am someone who legitimately loved the NBA. Who almost every Thursday I would be watching TNT. I love the guys. I love their chemistry on TNT before they started getting into the political bullshit. I love that pregame. I love watching NBA because they are the best athletes at what they're doing. Regular season can get a little okay. Maybe they might not be out there trying as hard. 82-game season, saving a lot of it for playoffs. But to me, good playoff NBA basketball is one of like my favorite things to watch. But now I'm just so disconnected from it. And it's shocking to me that, that's able to happen. But that's what you get for focusing on this bullshit, for focusing on social justice, driving longtime fans who used to spend a shit ton of money on your product away.
And also getting rid of John Chester's round ball rock theme. That was just as big as the game. Before the game, you hear the theme, and then you have Marv Albert come in. It was all a part of the game. Now it's like nobody cares.
Yeah.
I can't find that one. I've got one that's like got some music in it, and I don't want to play that shit. I can't find it. Everybody's seen the Ryan Leaf freak out, though.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that freaked out at Jim Rome? Chris
Jim Everett.
Yeah, I remember that.
Jim Everett.
He kept calling that guy Chris.
He kept calling Chris Everett because Chris Everett was a female tennis player.
Man, she was great.
Yeah.
You call me Chris one more time. Okay, Chris. Like, so fucking funny. All right. Underrated Outcast for $1. Thank you very much, Underrated Outcast. Appreciate the super chat. Bert for $5. Down with the patriarchy. Change the Heisman Trophy to the Heis Them Trophy. Let's help create them story. Sarah Fuller for Heis Them. Jesus Christ. I'm really interested to see what they do with Sarah Fuller going forward. Anytime any of these people talk about her or praise her, we are going to shit on them. We are going to fucking make videos about them because it's absolute trash.
Yep. Here we go. I hope this doesn't mess up my mic. We'll see. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I see it.
Good to have you on the show.
Good to be here, Jim. Thank you.
Check that. Chris Everett. Good to have you on the show.
You know what? You've been calling me that for about the last 5 years.
About 2 years, actually, Chris.
Well, hey, let me say one thing. In that game, how many sacks did I have that we came back and won?
How many sacks did you
How
have?
many sacks?
Well, see, but this was back in 1989.
Okay, that was about
You may
6.
have even been Jim Everett back there, but somewhere along the way, Jim, you ceased being Jim and you became Chris.
So let me tell you a little secret. That, we're sitting here right now, and if you guys want to take a station break, you can. But if you call me Chris Everett to my face one more time,
I already did it twice.
You call it one more time. We better take a station break.
Well, it's a 5-minute segment, or 5-segment show. We got a long way to go.
Well, we do.
We got a long way to go.
We do.
I'll get a couple segments out of
Well,
you
it's
before.
good to be here with you, though.
Well, it's good to see you
because
too.
you've been talking like this behind my back for a long
But
time.
now I said it right here.
Right. Exactly.
Well, we got no problem
Well,
with that.
I think that you probably won't say it again.
I bet I do.
Okay.
Chris?
When the dust is settled, Rome can...
Now, there are a lot of people saying it was staged. I do think it was staged as well.
Probably.
Because he put him down and then didn't do anything. Like, I feel like he would have put him down and fucking clocked him. Like, why wouldn't you? If that's what you're doing. But either way, it's fucking hilarious. I haven't listened to Jim Rome in fucking a decade, probably.
Does he still have a show?
He has a radio show. Yeah, he still has a radio show for sure. I don't know what he's doing TV wise if he's on anything, but yeah, that was fucking funny. That's like so iconic when that. Okay, Chris.
I mean, but he could have found somebody else instead of calling Chris Everett, because Chris Everett was all-time great. All-time great tennis player. He could have found somebody else to compare him to.
But it is a girl.
Anytime, you could call me Serena Williams. I'd still be fucking insulted. Although she's basically a man. Let's be real. Yellow Flash 2 for $2 says, "Hail Doritos Ryan." Thank you, Yellow Flash.
I told you.
Yeah, I heard I came up on your live stream last night again. Photoshopped or not, I'm always the subject of so it's good to know.
I love that. Yeah, I super chatted Yellow Flash because they were talking about Wonder Woman 1984, and I put Yellow Flash's Ryan memes greater than Wonder Woman 1984, and then he was telling everybody about it. He pulled it up and they were dying laughing. It just gets worse and worse. It's so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't it start with The Last Jedi? Like, you're a closet Last Jedi fan? Is that?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was he like photoshopped a picture of me in like a room that just had a Last Jedi poster up, and it was just a really bad, really fucking lazy suit or like thing where it like shaved off a little bit of my head. I was like, that's such a bad Photoshop, and then it's just continued to get worse each and every fucking time.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. But we do have some NFL games coming up today, even though we've effectively had so many over the past couple days. There still are some. Let me get to the schedule here and pull up the games of interest. Like I said, on Christmas, you had Minnesota and New Orleans, where Alvin Kamara had like fucking 4 touchdowns or something. Mm-hmm. And that, he absolutely went off for them. But, you do have a couple. Cleveland at New York, I think, is interesting because we have yet another time, right? Yet another time where COVID is completely wrecking a team. The Browns have one fucking wide receiver that isn't being held out due to close contact because of COVID shit. This is a team who's in the fucking playoff hunt. This is a team with this game could decide their fate. And you're not going to let people like Jarvis Landry, like all these other people play because, they might have something that isn't actually a risk to them. I find it ridiculous. And when we get to the end of this year and look back, you have to factor that in. These teams that basically had lost games, had to forfeit virtually because they didn't have a team.
It's so If the Brady Patriots dynamic wasn't a big thing this year, I would be so checked out of the NFL. And look, even with college football, I mean, Alabama's had a dominating season, and I have not really been fully invested in a lot of it because of all of the nonsense. I mean, again, you can't have college football games. You can't have sporting events. The sports media has been obsessed with ruining sports all year long, yet it's okay to go out and burn cities to the ground and protest. That's totally fine, but you can't spend time with your family or go to a football game.
Yep.
You can go into the streets and celebrate when the mainstream media tells you that Biden won the election. We can go have parties and everything like that. But you can't have a football game. It's very annoying, and it's really taken me and a lot of other NFL fans and sports fans out of it because it's just ridiculous. The hypocrisy is off the charts.
Yeah, it really is. And like, I'm not a Browns fan, not really a Baker Mayfield fan, but the idea that because one person tested positive and they had contact with all those other people, you're going to hold them out. I would be fucking livid. I really would be. They're bringing up practice squad guys. They're going to try to fill the roster, but luckily they're playing the Jets. I guess that's all you can say. Thank God they're playing the Jets, so maybe they still do have a chance to win this game, even without virtually all of their outside skill position players.
The Jets on a roll now, man.
The Jet, yeah, they've won one game.
One game.
That's a bigger role than they've been on all season. So
they're messing up their Trevor Lawrence.
Imagine being so bad that you actually accidentally win and fuck up your chances to get Trevor Lawrence. That's basically what they did.
But honestly, I don't think players look at it that way. I mean, think of this: if you're the QB for the Jets, why in the world would you want to throw a game so you can get replaced?
Oh yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
Well, and if you're any other player like that has an expiring contract or whatever, you don't give a fuck about what you really want to lose so Trevor Lawrence can fucking come and be your quarterback and still be shitty for another year or two. No, you want to show everybody what you can do and show everybody why you're worth something.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would be doing if I was an individual player. I would want to be doing the best I possibly could.
Yeah. And also, you know, remember the Lions, they went 0-16. What did they get out of that? Nothing. They're still the Lions.
Yeah. I mean, there is no, I mean, is Trevor Lawrence I feel he's probably a little overrated.
I don't think he's a Pro Bowl player.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a little overrated. I think he definitely has potential to have some NFL success, but there is no guarantee of anything. I mean, Andrew Luck, we were told, was the greatest thing that's ever happened in the history of existence. And he had a decent NFL career. I know a lot of people claim that it was this, that, or the other as to why the Colts weren't successful. At the end of the day, he was hyped up to be the greatest pro prospect since John Elway or something like that. It's just like, you never know. You don't know. Look, Russell Wilson, wasn't he like a third or fourth rounder? And I mean, so you just don't know how somebody's going to translate. So I think that I don't think a lot of teams tank. I think there's probably instances where teams will tank to get certain players, but ultimately it's not a good method. Yeah. It's just not. You just need to play to win the game. Yeah. You have to play and you let everything fall where it may, but tanking for a player, I don't think that there's ever been a player that's ever been truly worth tanking for, because there's no sure thing when it comes to drafting.
No,
there's just
especially the quarterback position. I mean, think of it. Most of your really good quarterbacks right now didn't even go in the first round.
Yeah.
Brady, 6th round pick. Dak was what, 3rd or 4th round pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Where was Mahomes? I mean, I know he wasn't like a late
round.
He was first round, but he wasn't like.
He wasn't a slam dunk.
The Chiefs moved up to like 15 or 16 to draft him, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. They moved up to pick him up, and everyone was shocked.
Yeah, and look, Mahomes, nobody thought he was going to be this. No one thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be Aaron Rodgers. No. He was a late first rounder. Ultimately, you just have to – there's a lot of luck involved with the drafting process. Bill Belichick didn't know Tom Brady was going to be Tom Brady. No. Picked him up in the 6th round, barely got drafted. You
Honestly, the last slam dunk that I can think of where it was a no-brainer was Peyton Manning.
Yeah, honestly, I think Andrew Luck was a slam dunk, and I think Andrew Luck was really fucking good.
He wasn't a
quit.
He wasn't a world changer though.
I watched him in college, and I was never overly impressed. I was impressed with Peyton Manning in college. Yeah. Peyton Manning, and I know people probably aren't going to like this comparison, but it does. Peyton Manning was like a LeBron James. Like you knew Peyton Manning was going to be this all-time great quarterback. There was no denying it. I didn't feel that way with Andrew Luck. I felt Andrew Luck was overrated in college. I feel he was not to say he wasn't a bad quarterback, and he made a lot happen in the NFL. So clearly he was a success. But I don't see Andrew Luck on Peyton Manning's level. Peyton Manning was as close to a surefire, one of the few things I've ever seen that was a lock to be an all-time great.
Him and John Elway about the only ones I can.
But there was arguments about people drafting him and Ryan Leaf. Like,
absolutely.
We just talked about that too. Yeah. Like Andrew Luck. Yeah, you can't say he's Peyton Manning because he obviously wasn't. But when you look at what he was able to do those first couple years, I mean, I think that the Colts got what they thought they were getting with him. I don't think they felt this. The fact that he fucking retired off a whim, that is a big disappointment.
But the hype is that he was going to be this multiple Super Bowl winner. He was going to be Peyton Manning, John Elway, and he didn't live up to that.
I don't know. Yeah. John Elway didn't win a fucking Super Bowl until he was like 37 years old.
But John Elway was already
won. Yeah, Peyton Manning was a fucking disappointment for the Colts.
Right. Well, Peyton Manning's first 4 years wasn't all-time great. He wasn't.
Yeah, he was really bad his rookie season. But John Elway went.
You look at Andrew Luck's numbers those first couple years, and he was outpacing a lot of what Peyton was doing.
But that was a completely different era. Peyton Manning, when he came in, it was not a passing era.
Yeah, John Elway did go to 3 Super Bowls, though. I mean,
he carried bad teams to Super Bowls.
Yeah, because in all reality, John Elway's Super Bowl wins weren't because of John Elway; it was because of TD.
Imagine saying "Stop shouting, go fuck yourself, you little bitch." The fuck are you talking about?
But John Elway had the record of 5 Super Bowl appearances before Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, to me, as someone who was like in the state when they drafted Andrew Luck and saw everybody, I think the Colts fans were pretty happy with what they got, honestly.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they were, but
yeah. They were very disappointed when he quit. And the fact that people were booing when he fucking quit, I didn't have any problem with that. Because I'd be pretty pissed too in that moment. I remember when that happened out. That was one of our first bigger videos on the channel, wasn't it, Jeremy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Andrew Luck just retired because
we're like, we got 2,000 views, bro. Yeah.
That was crazy, actually. Yeah.
I remember we went live, and I think we had 30 people watching. We were like, wow, that was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Sports is a different animal to try to build a channel around sports. It's a different animal.
Yeah.
I mean, Brie Larson with red eyes just don't get us views over here. Maybe they will. I don't know. We haven't actually tried it. I'm putting Brie Larson and LeBron, crying LeBron and a Brie Larson with red eyes in the next video.
The most hateable faces in you could do that. Now, do you guys? What's gonna happen? Do you think the Washington football team is actually gonna win the NFC East? Because I think that's going to happen. I think the Redskins, that's all they needed to do was change their name, get all that racist taint off of them, and finally make the playoffs.
The Cowboys, they play today. If the Cowboys win their next 2 games, and they got a good chance of winning today because they're playing
Haskins.
They play the Eagles. Starting. They play the Eagles, but however, the Redskins play where is it? I just saw it.
It is the NFC East is a disaster.
Yeah,
it really is.
And I do believe that the Bucs would play the NFC East in the first round. So it's basically a bye week.
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean this is so pathetic. I mean because right now,
they play Carolina. So Washington plays Carolina. I don't know.
Oh, but it's with Haskins. If it's Alex Smith, I'd say Washington football team. But Haskins is so wishy-washy. I don't know if it'll work. But that's we were talking about that all year. The shocking thing to me, I'm looking at the point difference. Washington actually has a positive point difference, which is shocking to me. The fact that they have actually scored more points than their opponents.
7.
Yeah,
right?
I don't understand that.
7. I'll say this: the coolest thing to me about this year in the NFL is the Alex Smith story. The fact that Alex Smith was able to even get cleared to be on a field and then ended up coming in as a replacement and doing what he's been able to do. He almost single-handedly is going to be the one to lead this shitty ass team in this shitty ass division to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
He's going to be comeback player of the year easily.
I really want Alex Smith to start a game for them in the playoffs. I would have really liked to see that, even if they get destroyed. I think that like for him, for his journey, and like just to show his kids what never giving up is all about.
Yeah,
I think that would be a really cool, unique story.
And Alex Smith, for the large part of his career, he battled the whole "is he a bust" narrative. And he's not. I mean, he's a good quarterback.
He's been a solid quarterback pretty much his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't, all time great.
Yeah,
and I think that was a problem because he got drafted above Aaron Rodgers, right?
He was first overall pick. So
okay. But it was the same draft as Aaron Rodgers.
I can't remember. I can't remember if that was the Rodgers draft or not. I think it probably was.
I think it was.
But yeah, I like Alex Smith. He is that is a great story. There's no doubt about that. If you can't find any enjoyment out of Alex Smith and what's happened with him and his return after what he went through, then you got problems.
Yeah. Plus, he had no consistency as far as coordinators and coaches. It's like first 4 or 5 years.
Well, Alex Smith fucking takes a 49ers team to the NFC Championship game. Their punt returner muffs 2 fucking punts to let the Giants win. Man. That's the only reason the Giants made it to the Super Bowl, to beat the Patriots that year. Yep. Then after that, so he's finally got some consistency. He's finally working on it, at like getting things rolling. I think that was that same year where he had that huge touchdown run against, was it the Saints maybe? I don't know. But anyway, and then he gets replaced by Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick takes that team to the Super Bowl. Alex Smith moves on, goes to the Chiefs. The Chiefs build something. They build something good. They have a couple actual playoff runs. Fucking Patrick Mahomes comes in, swoops out, and takes it from him. Like, I don't think that Alex Smith is a great quarterback and like that. I think he's a fine quarterback who, when put in the right position, can do really good things for you with the right pieces. But you got to feel for a guy who like keeps building these things and then gets replaced by this young up and coming kid. Yeah. So I like Alex Smith. Think he's a good dude. And I would really like to see him at least make it to the as much as I want the Washington football team to go 0-16.
I know.
To be the Redskins. I want to see that for Alex Smith.
Yep. Agreed.
Butter Biscuit 92 for $5. Colts GM gave Luck nothing to work with. Luck had no Harrison or Edgerrin James. He had no O-line. Peyton always had a line. Luck had nothing. He had T.Y. That was, and T.Y. Hilton's fucking so overrated in my opinion. Motherfucker dropped so many balls, but go ahead.
Didn't the Colts always win whenever he was injured? Like whenever he was out, like they would have like these backup quarterbacks come in that would do good.
Well, they brought Jacoby Brissett in and they ran.
Though, there was another time where who was that? There was a backup quarterback that came in that gave them a winning record for a short amount of time. I can't remember because I never followed the Colts that closely, but there was a time where Andrew Luck missed quite a few games and a backup quarterback come in. I know the chat will help me out, and they had a winning record. And that was
all. Was that?
I mean, there was only one season. Like, there was only one season where Andrew Luck was hurt before he missed like fucking 2 years. But I don't know. I don't know exactly who it was. I know that Hasselbeck was his backup there for a while, like journeyman Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, it was Matt Hasselbeck. Yeah, and he won games, but I was told the whole time that it was, Andrew Luck has nothing to win. Like, if Matt fucking Hasselbeck can come in and win games, but for that fucking team, but you're telling me that the reason they can't take it to the next level is because Andrew Luck has no help, it doesn't make sense. Andrew Luck is supposed to be the guy that elevates you to the next level and makes a mediocre team great. This is what Tom Brady does. The Patriots are not a playoff team without Tom Brady. They're not an 0-16 team. Yeah. They're a team that can barely miss the playoffs. With Tom Brady, they're a perennial Super Bowl contender. That's the difference. And so I kept hearing this Andrew Luck bullshit about how he doesn't have the help, but whenever other quarterbacks are on that team, they won. Andrew Luck is supposed to be that guy that takes an average team to elevates him to a great team. That is what he was supposed to be. That doesn't mean he was bad, but when I say he's overrated, that's what I'm talking about. You can't call him the next John Elway or the next Peyton Manning. and then he can't produce when he's clearly got a team that has pieces. You're supposed to take that team to the next level, and he didn't. Doesn't mean he was bad.
I think that comparing a couple games started from somebody else where they also were able to have some success is you talk about the Matt Castle effect all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a guy can come in and still be okay, you know, have some success, but we saw Tim Tebow come in. I don't want to start this argument. But we saw Tim Tebow come in too, and you know, by running
throw.
I know he can't throw, but he was able to have some success. You know what I mean?
Until he went into the Patriots.
But again, we're talking about a team that had the worst NFL record over the past season and a half, and Tebow came in, and instantly they started winning games and went to the playoffs and won the division.
I still can't believe they beat the Steelers.
And then he got big.
You know how the Wildcat? You know how the fucking Wildcat was a thing in success.
That's fine, but we watched.
That's why this happened. That is why this happened with Tebow. That's why he fucking never had success again.
Because he lost his job after making the playoffs and taking a fucking team. He got benched.
They knew that wasn't
that wasn't a long-term fix. The league would have caught up to that the next season.
That's fucking gimmicky.
Just like the Wildcat.
And was Kaepernick gimmicky?
It's the same thing with Taysom Hill in New Orleans, right?
Was Kaepernick gimmicky?
A little bit, yeah.
And did we watch Kaepernick actually fail on the field?
Yes, they let him
fail. Tebow never got the chance to fail on the field. He didn't
need it. You knew what was going to happen.
Jeremy.
He got benched.
He had a game where he completed 3 passes.
And they won, correct?
But that you can't do that long term. You cannot do that.
Again, let it happen, because here's what happened with Tim Tebow.
Let yourselves fail.
Hang on. Here's what happened with Tim Tebow, okay? He was the number 1 most recruited player in the country coming out of college. Number 1 most recruited player as a quarterback. He goes to college. Look up his numbers. All right, he had the second highest rating as a college football quarterback in NCAA history in the SEC. He was told that he couldn't pass in the SEC. Look at his numbers. Look at his passing numbers in the SEC from college. Then he goes to the NFL and was told he couldn't succeed, and he does it again. And then he gets benched after making the playoffs, and he never gets a chance to succeed again.
Who replaced him at quarterback?
Never had a chance to succeed again. How many other teams?
That's right. Peyton Manning came the year afterwards.
Peyton Manning came in the year after.
You're gonna take Peyton Manning. And then,
I mean, again, and how do the Broncos look now? What's going on with them now?
They would look. You know what? They would look worse. They had some fucking practice team wide receiver who hadn't played since college on there throwing balls for him. He's probably a better option for them than Tim Tebow would have been.
Again,
that motherfucker.
You are talking about what might have happened. I'm talking about what did happen. And what did happen is Tim Tebow took over the worst team in the NFL, and immediately they became a division winner, a playoff team, won a playoff game, and then he lost to Tom Brady in the New England Patriots, and he never saw another down in that uniform.
Did he ever get another chance? Did he ever get signed by any other team? Did he never get quarterback? Okay, why did they play him? He was so incredible. Why didn't they fucking play him?
Of course he did. Again, I'm not saying he was the most incredible thing ever. I'm just saying that he earned the chance to fail, and he never got the chance to fail. That's all I'm saying.
Against New England, he got destroyed in that playoff game.
That's fine. And so is that the standard? Is that the standard?
If I'm not mistaken, I do believe, did Brady throw 6 touchdown passes in the first half of the game?
Yes. So that's the standard. If you get destroyed by Tom Brady, you lose your job?
No, the thing is, he wasn't even competitive against the Patriots.
But what did he do the week before?
Twice in that season.
What did he do the week before?
The week before, when Ryan Clark, the leader of the back end of that defense.
Well, hang on.
That's Mike Tomlin's fault. I blame Mike Tomlin for that.
Hang on. Let's frame this. The week before, against the number 1 pass defense in the NFL, what did he do?
You mean the one
316 yards?
316 yards.
The one that didn't have players there because they got sickle cell or whatever the fuck. They can't go high out.
Not only that, the Steelers looked like they didn't even game plan for him. They weren't even trying to stop the pass.
That's fine, but the point is it did happen.
That
And
did happen.
then he never got another chance. Is all I'm saying is if he was going to fail, I wanted to see him fail.
Well,
and
they
he never got
brought
that
in
chance.
Peyton Manning after that.
And do you
then-
know Peyton Manning actually said that Tebow had to be gone? Like, because he didn't want to deal with the noise. Like, imagine Peyton Manning being intimidated by somebody.
Yeah. But then after that,
No,
Tebow
Peyton
goes
Manning
to
had
New
a bunch
England.
of
He's not
retarded
starting
fans.
in New England.
That's why there's a bunch of retarded fans.
And nobody wanted the clown show that came with Tim Tebow when he wasn't going to play.
Well, I understand all of that. But the point, all I'm saying, I'm not saying he was going to be the greatest thing ever. I'm just saying that he earned the opportunity on the field to continue to play, and he didn't get that chance.
But Jeremy,
That's all
bad
I'm saying.
teams didn't even want him. Too much baggage.
Well, they did want him, but they didn't know how to deal with him. I mean, to be honest, Belichick's the only guy that actually knew how to deal with Tebow, but it just was never. He was never going to be anything there.
And that was just the preseason.
Because if
He's
you
in New
remember,
England.
the first time the media asked Belichick about it, Belichick's like, like he didn't care. Like most teams, like they would ask him about Tebow and they would like fucking run their mouths about it. Belichick's just like mumbling.
He had to ignore it.
No, we're wrong.
He went to Philadelphia first.
No, he went to the Jets.
Jets.
He went to the Jets.
Jets.
He went to the Jets. Was it Philly after New
He
England?
couldn't beat out Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, he couldn't beat out Mark Sanchez with the Jets.
He never got a chance either.
Well, he got the opportunity.
Okay.
He lost to Mark Sanchez.
So, but I can't remember. Was it Philly after New England or before New England?
I think it was
Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly brought him on. I think that was after New England.
I don't know if he ever saw an actual, because he never actually saw a game with New England, did he?
No,
that
he
was
got cut.
preseason.
He got cut in the preseason.
Preseason.
That's what I thought.
Yep. But I still say Tebow got screwed over. So
Okay, yeah, here it is. Denver. Then he went to the Jets. Then he went to New England, and then
Philadelphia.
Eagles.
Yeah.
But he was only on the off season of practice squad, and that was it.
Yeah. But but I've seen quarterbacks that didn't deserve any chance whatsoever, and but I do think the noise has a lot
Like
to do
a
with
Colin
it too.
Kaepernick defender.
Well, not
Yeah.
really, because Colin Kaepernick actually failed on the field. Tim Tebow didn't.
I've seen quarterbacks that don't deserve to be out there. Where's Tebow?
I'm just saying, name another quarterback who takes over the worst team in the NFL and takes them to the playoffs, wins a playoff game, and gets benched. Like Kaepernick didn't take over. Kaepernick
Answer me honestly. Let me answer.
Kaepernick
honestly.
took over a team that was in the NFC Championship. Okay,
Answer
Tebow
me
took over a
honestly.
team that couldn't fucking do anything. The worst team in the NFL.
Answer me honestly.
Okay.
Do you legitimately think that Tim Tebow on that team would have had success the next year? Now, I'm not even saying the same
Yeah.
success. I'm saying
Absolutely. Yeah.
No, I don't buy it.
you honestly
Again-
think that.
Again, you are talking to someone who passionately hated Tim Tebow's guts in college.
I know. Till
I
we beat
I don't
hated
Alabama.
care. I just
fucking
want your
gut.
honest opinion.
No, what I'm telling you is I've been following the guy since fucking high school because Alabama and Florida were the two teams that he was considering. When Mike Shula, our terrible fucking coach at Alabama, was there, Mike Shula had a real good connection with Tebow, as did Urban Meyer. Tebow at the last minute picked Florida over Alabama. I fucking hated Tim Tebow's guts. I actively pulled against him, and I hate watched him at Florida. I hate watched him. And he earned my respect because of how fucking great he was at Florida. Look up his fucking numbers. Look up his passing numbers at Florida. This
Yeah, I
motherfucker
remember Urban
was
Meyer when they fucking
incredible.
in the Orange Bowl when he's like, "Oh, it looks like he can throw to me. I don't see
Right.
any problem." These fucking wide open
Right.
lanes. in the-
Okay,
in the
but that's
Orange
fine.
Bowl. Yeah.
You're telling me that Nick Saban defense is just leaving wide open players? Like I watched Tim Tebow, we beat him down for 2.5 quarters. And then he came back and slaughtered Alabama in the SEC championship. And then we beat him the next year. Tebow cried. We all know that. And I found a lot of joy out of watching Tebow cry on the sidelines. I had a lot of joy, but I hated Tebow, but he earned my respect. So again,
No
I still
defense is comparable to an NFL defense.
hang on.
Yeah.
Now, I watch college football and I can separate a player. And like AJ McCarron is someone who had a great career at Alabama. I never believed AJ McCarron would be an NFL quarterback. Never believed it for a second. I don't believe Jalen Hurts can be an NFL quarterback, even though I'm happy he's there and I'm pulling for him. I never truly believed Tim Tebow could be an NFL quarterback. But once he got on the field, and he proved it in the fucking league after proving it in college at a high level, I think he earned the opportunity to fail on the field, and he never got that. That's my entire stance here. That's my entire stance. He earned it on the field, and he never got a chance to fail on the field. They took it from him, and I don't think that was fair. That's all. That's my entire stance right there.
Okay. I think it's absolutely ridiculous to like look at what he did on the field, and they had success because they were very strategic about what they were doing, and that defense was fucking on another level at that point. They had one of the best kickers in the game, so they only needed to get across.
They were winning all those games on defense.
They were playing. They were doing exactly what they had to do to sneak out these wins.
How do you become a good defense? How do you get a good defense? By having a strong running game, by allowing a defense to run the. You have to run the ball, control the clock, let your defense rest.
That's how you get a strong defense.
Yes, a strong running game translates to a strong defense because your defense gets the time to rest, controlling the clock. Like, where was this defense before Tebow got there? Why didn't they have the best defense in the NFL?
They had an incredible defense. They did have.
Why weren't they winning games?
The idea, if you go back and they replay those games, the odds of it turning out the same way again are astronomical. The reason that Tim Tebow didn't get this chance you feel like he deserves is because everyone realized what they were doing, that it was as much of a gimmick as you could. They were protecting the ball, relying on their defense. That the way that is done is not sustainable. That's why they went out and got a Peyton Manning. That's why he never got a chance to go anywhere to do anything. That is why it's not sustainable.
If it's not sustainable, then why do we see teams constantly building around RG3 and Colin Kaepernick and Kyler Murray? None of these fucking situations are sustainable, but all of those guys are getting the chance to fail on the field. Cam fucking Newton is another example.
Well, they could all throw the ball better than Tebow. It's not even close.
Maybe not. The point is one of them.
If they couldn't throw the ball better, do you really think he'd be like he would have averaged like nine attempts a game? Like, you know what I mean?
I again, give him a chance to fail on the field. That's all I was saying. He proved that he could do it, so prove that he can't do it, and he never got that chance. And I think he deserved that chance. That's all. First round draft pick. Takes the team to the playoffs, never gets a chance to build off of that. I mean, again, if we're listening to the experts, didn't the experts say Tom Brady didn't deserve to be an NFL quarterback?
Yeah, they said he's a system quarterback that could
right.
I remember that.
Now, this is the same Tom Brady who lit up my Alabama Crimson Tide again, and I knew who Tom Brady was before everybody else did. But at the NFL experts, the same experts that you guys are telling me that I have to listen to, those are the same guys that told us that Tom Brady wasn't even worth being drafted in the first 6 rounds. That's who you want to stake your claim to? Those guys? Okay.
You're being fucking stupid as fuck when you say it right now. Tim Tebow is a first-round draft pick. Yes. Right? A lot of people considered that a little bit of a reach, but at the same time, there were a lot of people that were looking to bring him in to see what he could do in the NFL.
And what did he do?
See if they could change his mechanics, to see if they could work with them and turn him into that person, because there's no doubt that he was an athlete. He had what it took to win games. There's no doubt. But when that was all said and done, when people got him in there to see what he could do, they moved on from him for a reason. Because he couldn't get it.
Because taking the worst team in the NFL and making one change, and then that team becomes a playoff team and wins a playoff game. So then you eliminate the one change that you made. That makes sense? What other changes did the team make?
I would have to go back in time. I'd have to go back in time and think about it. But
they literally made no other changes. That was the only change.
Look at the Raiders. Look at the Raiders from Derek Carr's first season to his second season. The NFL is fucking crazy, right?
So Derek Carr, you're telling me Derek Carr got a chance to fail on the field?
Listen to what I'm about to say, you motherfucker. Derek Carr, their first season, they had like 8 games that they won by 1 score. Like,
I know
incredibly close, right? Incredibly close. The next year, they didn't really change much about the team. They didn't change much at all, but they had a far worse record because some of those things just didn't go their way that time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's how the NFL is.
Right. So you're saying we got to see it happen on the field, right?
We got to see it happen on the field. Yeah.
Right. We got to watch it regress on the field. Never got to see it with Tim Tebow. You make one change and you go from the worst team in the NFL to a playoff team, and you take that one change and bench him, and he never gets another chance to succeed in a situation that he clearly succeeded in. That is my entire point.
No, your point is you think that success would continue. That's why I asked you that fucking question. That is not your point. You think that the success would have continued, and I think that that's laughable. I just don't think that that's realistic.
Based on the fact that this guy was the #1 recruited player in the country in high school, goes on to have the greatest college football career we've ever seen, comes in, takes over the worst team in the NFL, and immediately makes them a playoff team. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to believe that he could continue the success because he's done that at every fucking level.
Well, the chances are he probably would have got hurt from all the running.
I think that is, if that was really the case, don't you think somebody else would have brought this guy in? Like, you know what I mean?
Again,
like after seeing what he did on the field, on the NFL field, like you're saying, don't you think someone else would have brought him in and really given him the chance if that was the case?
I watched Tom Brady have a very solid career at Michigan and destroy Alabama, and I watched him get passed over for 6 rounds. So no, I'm not inclined to believe that the NFL is necessarily smart. I do believe that a lot of it had to do with his religion. And do you think the NFL wants to push this pro-Christian guy? Do you really believe that?
This is back in 2000. This is back in 2010. First of all,
and he was 2011. Dude, they made fun of him for being a virgin. They made fun of him for being a virgin. They made fun of him for saving himself for marriage. This is a thing the media fucking did. I watched it happen.
The Christian shit, all of that is a very microcosm of like what would actually be.
I think it's the bigger thing.
The bigger thing is all of the fucking fanboyish nonsense that happens when you get Tebow. Like his fans, essentially. That to me is a much bigger deal for any NFL team, and you can make that argument. As far as the media backlash against him being a Christian,
I think that has
a little bit, but
I think it has a lot to do with it.
It has more to do with the fans who literally anytime anyone did something bad, they would start fucking chanting Tebow because they are fucking retarded. That is what they are. Tim Tebow fans are fucking retarded.
They watched him become the greatest college football player of all time. They watched him win a Heisman Trophy.
I watched it happen in fucking Denver where these stupid fucks were chanting for Tebow.
And guess what happened?
Peyton Manning.
And guess what happened? Guess what happened? They won a playoff game after chanting for Tebow. After being the worst team in the NFL.
I'm talking about with Peyton Manning there. They were chanting Tebow. That is what I'm talking about.
I mean,
they wanted to bring Tebow back when Peyton threw an interception because they are fucking retarded.
No, they know a great football player when they see one.
A great football player when they see
Yes.
Sports Wars has turned in the first take.
When Tom Brady throws when Peyton Manning throws 56 touchtown passes, but he throws one pick and they chant for Tebow because they know great football players. They're fucking retarded.
Again. Yes. Why did the Colts choose Andrew Luck over Peyton Manning?
Because his neck was broke.
Because there was a very good chance that he would not have been able to play football again.
Okay, but there's a bigger point there is that they were looking for a long-term fit, correct? Not a short-term gain, correct? Yeah. That is my argument against the Peyton Manning move is like, yeah, you got your Super Bowl. Where are you at now? You had a player that you could have built around, and you chose to go for the short-term gain. And that's what a lot of people are looking at going, this is a guy who you could build around for the next 10 or 15 years potentially, but you wanted the short-term gain. So when I say that those fans were looking at that perspective, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can tell me Peyton Manning's better. I'm not arguing. Peyton Manning was better than Andrew Luck, but the Colts decided to go with Andrew Luck because for the long term. Now the Broncos are a shitstorm. They got fucking who's their quarterback now?
Drew Lock.
Who?
Drew Lock.
Exactly. Like they don't have and who didn't they have Flacco? Like I mean,
yeah,
you know, yeah. I mean, and look at the quarterbacks they've had since Peyton Manning, and that's my entire point. Like you had a young quarterback that proved himself, and you decided to throw him in the trash. And I do believe, and again, I'm not a religious person. But I do believe that his religion had a huge point in why the NFL didn't want to touch him. I have a big problem with that. And I do believe that had a lot to do with it. If Tim Tebow had a few arrests on his record. If Tim Tebow had a few assault charges, then Tim Tebow probably wouldn't have been a problem for the NFL. I firmly believe that his religion played a huge part into why the NFL didn't want him. I absolutely believe that. And I watched him. I watched how the media treated him when he said he was going to save himself. They made a big joke about that. And it's like, I just thought that was shitty, like how they treated him because he had a strong tie to his religion and they made a mockery of him. They joked about that. And he handled it perfectly. So I respect the hell out of Tim Tebow.
Just imagine if he came
I
out today.
respect the hell out of Tim Tebow too, as a man, not as a football player in the NFL. Like I can't understand how you can look at what he was doing in the way I watched every fucking Broncos game that season, and like I just don't understand how you can legitimately think that that is long-term success.
I mean, again, Peyton Manning threw like 30 fucking interceptions his first season. Okay. Yeah, but Tim Tebow had a better.
He made some bad decisions as he was learning. That's for sure.
Tim Tebow had a better first year than Peyton Manning.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
That better touchdown to interception ratio. I'll probably give you that. Yeah. And now when you factor in the fumbles or turnovers, I'm not sure.
Did the Colts go? Did he turn the Colts into an immediate playoff team?
But the Colts were a complete dumpster fire. And it was
and
19.
So were the Dolphins.
But think it was a different era, man. 1998 versus 2011.
The Broncos were the worst team in the NFL over the last season and a half, and then Tebow takes over and they become a playoff team immediately. There was no other change made. So now you're telling me a first year quarterback who didn't have preseason, who comes in, who clearly needed to work on his mechanics, doesn't get a chance to build off of this.
So you really mean to say Peyton Manning, who won Rookie of the Year, Tim Tebow had a better year than Peyton Manning in 1998? Are you sitting here and saying that?
What is the point of NFL? To have good stats or to win football games? What are players brought in for to do?
Well, obviously to win games, but there's no way in hell Tim Tebow was better than Peyton Manning.
My point is you guys are holding Tebow accountable for how he played in his very first season and telling me that he doesn't deserve to grow from that. But so I'm supposed to hold Peyton Manning to his first season as well?
No, of course not. But I'm just saying there's no way in hell Tim Tebow was better than Peyton Manning in 1998.
I'm saying
no way in hell.
How are we framing this in winning games or stats? Because if you want stats, Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady. So who's better, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
Well, actually, Tom Brady's stats are better. I guess the way you look at it just depends.
Exactly. So how do you want to look at this? The Broncos made the playoffs in Tim Tebow's first year.
Okay.
After he took over the worst team in the NFL.
You go ahead. You keep Tim Tebow. I'll roll with Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I know the fucking games are going on. I'm watching, but most of my games happened yesterday. So
it's already 12:30 almost.
Yeah, the Buccaneers and the Dolphins played yesterday, so I'm good. I don't really have any true interest unless Tim Tebow comes back. Then I'll be really interested.
You got flat Earth genius on your side, Jeremy. So yeah, I'm just prejudiced against them. I watched every Broncos game that season.
Yeah, Marv Gardens. Tim Tebow had 17 touchdown passes in 14 games, so he could pass a little bit. No, he can't pass at all. He never threw a touchdown pass. Everybody.
The idea that is like evidence to like support is kind of funny.
Again, who had a better touchdown to interception ratio in their first year, Tim Tebow or Peyton Manning?
Probably Peyton Manning because he threw more than like 100 passes.
Well, actually, Tim Tebow actually played his first year. Yeah,
he did play.
Yeah, he had 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Yeah. It was his second year.
Second year is when he played 14 games.
Right.
But man, his completion percentage was straight trash, 46%.
But he won 8 games though. He won 8 games though.
Yeah,
John.
he did.
So, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. He's a better quarterback than fucking 98% of people because he and the Ravens team, they went to the playoffs. They won the Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer. I don't know why he's not in the Hall of Fame. He really should be though.
Did Trent Dilfer get benched right after the Super Bowl?
He wasn't even on the Ravens.
They moved. Yeah, I don't even know if they kept him the next.
I don't think he was on the Ravens.
Let's see.
But while you're looking, let me catch up on some of these super chats. Biggles Mets for $5. When Alex Smith got benched for Colin, I cried. I miss Alex Smith. Yeah, I mean, Alex Smith, I'm glad for what's happening right now in Washington with him.
Yep.
Butter Biscuit for $5. Peyton didn't win a Super Bowl till his defense caught up to the offense. Luck had no defense and one person to throw the ball to. Yeah, like Peyton Manning. I'm not a Peyton Manning fan. I think that he's one of the best regular season quarterbacks in the history of all time. And he suffered in the playoffs. Bottom line, if Charles Tillman doesn't slip on a fucking wet field in Miami in that Super Bowl, I don't know if they win that Super Bowl.
And actually, if you look at Peyton Manning, that whole playoff run in 2006, he was awful. 3 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Yeah, he was not any good. Eric, where'd it go? Biggles Mets for $2. Don't you dare talk about my now New York Met Tim Tebow. Is he still in AAA or a AA?
Yeah, he's still playing baseball, I think.
Yeah.
Is he still in baseball?
Yeah, he's still in baseball.
He's really bad. He's batting like 220 in AA.
Yeah, I don't believe in. I mean, I love Tebow, but I'm not going to vouch for him in baseball. But I will vouch for him in football.
I'll say this: his swing looks exactly like his throwing motion. Like that's the problem. It's just really fucking slow and loopy.
I haven't seen him play, so.
Now, if he squares it up, he's got some power, but he just doesn't have a quick enough bat. But I mean, he's a big, strong dude. So I give him a lot of credit for sticking to baseball, honestly. Because he could just do SEC network stuff and whatever. Because that's what he's doing right now. He's still doing that in between all the minor league baseball stuff, but yet he's riding on these buses with these no-name players to go to these events. So I have a lot of respect for him. Biggles Mets for $2. Oh, I said that. Eric K for $5. When Tebow left, other teams use him as a bulldozer to get a few yards. Jets, he was only put in third and short, no full game plan. Tebow was screwed.
He never got a chance to do anything. I watched every down. He played in every team. He never got a chance.
Charles W. Jansen II for $5. This is undisputed. Career backup quarterback, and the old ball coach Steve Spurrier definitely failed on the field, but that was $76. Thank you, Charles. And then for another $5 right after, what about Doug Williams as a quarterback in his time in Tampa? He wouldn't get a chance today with his first 2 years stats, 40% completion. Probably not. It is a different era. But yeah. When you go back and look at like what Terry Bradshaw was doing, the fact that you can't really compare like Terry Bradshaw's stats to Matt Stafford.
Nah, you really can't.
Is Tebow better at baseball than MJ?
No, I don't.
That's
probably
debatable.
MJ didn't give it as much time as Tebow has.
Yeah.
Nearly.
MJ was only there for one season.
Yeah, and they honestly bumped him up to higher than he should have been. He started his career with like a 15 or 20 game hit streak or something. Like Michael Jordan's raw athletic talent is greater than Tim Tebow's. Like, so I think that was part of it. He's faster than Tebow. Tebow doesn't have that strong of an arm, honestly, in baseball. That's one of the problems with him, even though he's an outfielder. But Jordan would have been a better baseball player than Tebow is. Let's see. Heroic Avenger for $5. Jeremy Ryan arguing on a live stream is as sure as the sun coming up. Thank you. Eric K for $5. Love when Ryan is wrong. He thinks if he screeches louder, he'll be right all of a sudden or change people's minds.
Don't they say the same thing about me?
Yeah, they do. Sorry. There's a lot of retarded people out there, but thanks for the super chat, Eric. Second, White Horse 3 for $3. Well, I didn't even see this. Trent Dilfer equals Tim Tebow. Tim got robbed. If you think Trent Dilfer would have gone on to be an all-time great, there you go. Charles W. Jansen for $5. The NFL's not smart. That's the smartest thing Jeremy said. Kind of like military intelligence. Like the NFL as a brand, yeah, I think they're stupid, but I think that the idea of the individuals at these coaching levels they could bring someone on that would be best for their team. I think they're kind of smart. Ethan Johansson for $5. You know who also had success with the team and deserved a chance to start the next year, but got it taken away? Case Keenum. He earned it, damn it. I think that's like a similar situation where Case Keenum, he had a little bit of success, provided that spark, but ultimately when you see what he was doing, I don't think that's really sustainable. So I would put him in the category.
Remind me what happened with Case Keenum.
Case Keenum, like, remember Bill O'Brien's first couple seasons in Houston, where he would just have a shit quarterback replace him with another shit quarterback, but they kept winning games. You know what I mean? Like they all seem to have, even though they were shit, they had a great defense and they continue to kind of win. Same thing happened with Case Keenum there. And I think Case Keenum went on to I don't remember. Colt McCoy was one of those guys too. Went from like the Browns to Washington. Case Keenum's still doing something, but I don't know what.
Colt McCoy. He couldn't handle Alabama in the national championship. Got knocked out like a little bitch. So,
didn't he get wrecked by Ndamukong Suh? Was that Colt McCoy? He got like the stinger.
I don't know. Colt McCoy is like he's so little. Like he's little. He is a tiny guy. Like it was so funny to watch them play Alabama, and he just it's like he walked into a brick wall like early on in that game and got knocked out. And I'm shocked that he had any NFL time without getting killed. He is such a little dude.
All right.
But have you ever heard a more Texas name? Like that should be the quarterback.
Yeah, that's a Texas name.
Yeah, that should be the quarterback for University of Texas.
Colt McCoy. Truth with S for $2. Let John talk. Quit talking over each other. Ironically, you sent that Truth with S as John was talking.
I know I was, and I saw that.
Yeah, I appreciate the super chat. Eric K for $2. Manning's record and Aikman's record first year. I would imagine Aikman
was on 0-11, but Aikman was terrible. Aikman was on one of the worst all-time teams ever. That 1989 Dallas Cowboys team was all-time horrible.
That Colts team was with a 2-4.
They were 3-11.
3-11, yeah, something like that with Peyton. They were pretty bad.
3-13. I'm sorry, 3-13.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't think there were 14 games then, but yeah. Gary Major for $5 for John Matrix. Really enjoy your commentaries, especially on Black Lives Matter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary, for the super chat and for.
Did you miss Yellow Flash's super chat? And he's going to super
I
chat.
said Hail Doritos.
No, he sent another one.
What?
Something about Brady. I can't remember now.
Oh, shit. It was right after that. $5. Yellow Flash says Tom Brady was good in college, but he sat behind Drew Henson, who was better at the time. I missed that completely.
Yeah, Drew. Brady. Drew Henson was kind of like a stud prospect at the time, and
Brady was 1 year. Honestly,
yeah, Brady was good in college. He was solid. He wasn't great. He wasn't like making any records or anything, but he did. There were glimpses of what was to come with Brady. And again, I really didn't know a lot about him until we played them in the Orange Bowl and he beat the fuck out of Alabama. And then it's almost like the Tebow aspect where I fucking hated Brady so bad. And I wanted him to fail. And I'd never forget when he took over for Bledsoe and I was like, Bill Belichick's, this is the all-time dumbest shit you've ever done. You're going to fucking regret this. It's like, no. And that was just me being really bitter because I wanted Brady to fail. And he didn't. He proved me wrong. But that's how I get a lot of my either love or hate for a lot of college players. Cam Newton's another one. Deshaun Watson, who earned my respect when he beat Alabama. Johnny Manziel's another one where I never believed Johnny Manziel would be an NFL quarterback, but he was fucking phenomenal to watch in college.
Yeah, I just fucking stay off the. I really don't think he would have ever had a chance to really be successful in the NFL, even if he had stayed off coke and everything. Just the way
too small.
College is just a different fucking game. That's why we see all these busts because it is just different.
It's not. It's almost a different sport.
Yeah, and now I'll say. I will say now we are starting to evolve to the point where you are getting more of these like college coaches in to run their schemes in the NFL, and it is changing. Like guys like Kyler Murray and the success that they're having. What the Ravens decided to do with Lamar Jackson, I don't think you would have seen some of these things 10 years ago and them continue to be as successful because they didn't have the systems in place, but now they're kind of bringing that to the NFL. So who knows what'll happen in the future. Drew Henson, though, tragedy for Drew. Imagine Drew Henson seeing Tom Brady go on to do what he did while deciding to take your gamble and go to baseball.
Yeah.
God, it's rough for him. The forgotten man. Biggles Mets for $2. The NFL needs Shane Falco, so I will watch it again. Gary Major for $5. Really enjoy watching your shows. Keep up the fight for President Trump against the super woke cancel culture.
Damn right.
Thank you, Gary. Echo Base Network. What's up, Echo Base for $5? Hey, guys, keep up the good work on this channel in black and white sports. Love you guys. Thank you for the support in the super chat, Echo Base. Howdy Do It for $2. Greatest all-time backup quarterback, Steve Young.
That's a good one.
The idea for both them and for the Packers to go from a Joe Montana and a Brett Favre straight into a Steve Young and an Aaron Rodgers, pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. You don't see that anymore because I don't feel like people are patient enough to wait for their guys.
Yeah.
It's just, you got to get them in there. We talked earlier in the stream about the Tua Fitzpatrick thing. Obviously, those guys, Fitzpatrick isn't on the same level as those guys. But, what they're doing with these young guys to get them in there right away. But they're also more prepared, in my opinion, than they were back then.
Fitzpatrick is awesome. I remember when he was dressed up doing, he had that whole look in Tampa,
With
He put
on Deshaun Jackson's clothes.
Yeah, he was just he looked like Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Truth with S for $5. Do y'all think James Harden will get traded? If so, do you think the Rockets will get a good deal for him? I do think he'll get traded because it's clear he doesn't want to fucking be there.
But you're not going to get a good deal.
Well,
you're not.
I think the most likely scenario, you only have a couple trade options with that contract. I think that the most likely scenario is he goes to Philly and they send back Ben Simmons. That is what that's about the only thing I think that will happen, and the only place that he might want to go play with Embiid.
I'm not trading James Harden for Ben Simmons. It's not going to happen.
That's about the only way that I think that can work. And when you look at the money involved, I don't really see any other options for where he is willing to go. So, just wait for. I think that is the only place that it'll happen. But I think it'll be awful. I don't think it'll work.
Yeah.
Ethan Johnson or Johansson for $5. Case Keenum got the Vikings. The NFL championship got slaughtered. That's right. Case Keenum did go. He went to the Vikings after Houston. You're 100% right. But he at least deserved to be the starter next year and get a 7 or 9 or something. Yeah, they did get slaughtered. But I remember that season now that you say that.
Yeah,
okay.
I vaguely remember that. But Case Keenum wasn't the greatest college football player of all time either. So.
All right. Where did the super chats go? Here we go.
We got like 2 left.
Yeah, Echo Base Network for $2. Do you guys know anything about Auburn's new coach?
It doesn't matter. Just like it didn't matter with Gus Malzahn. I remember Colin Cowherd said Gus Malzahn was going to dethrone Nick Saban, and that didn't work out good. But no, I mean, Nick. I saw a list the other day of all of the SEC coaches that have changed since Nick Saban took over at Alabama.
It's like a list of the Browns quarterbacks.
It is fucking utter domination to a level we have never seen in sports. It is truly fantastic what Saban has done at Alabama. And again, I say that as somebody I remember before we got Saban, Rich fucking Rodriguez turned down Alabama. I'm like, God damn, we're never going to get a coach. Rich Rodriguez. That was the low point, I think, of me being an Alabama fan. Even through the Shula years, I was like, when somebody, because I didn't want Rich Rodriguez, but I was like, when Rich Rod turns you down, you're at a shit university right now. But yeah, Nick Saban came in and changed the game. And Auburn, Auburn is just they're going to run through more people, and it's just Alabama dominance, man. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know how. Somebody asked me earlier how much longer I thought Saban was going to coach. I didn't think Saban would still be here. I truly felt like Saban would probably leave early on after he won a couple of national championships, because Saban had that tendency, when he left LSU, went to Miami, not going to be the coach at Alabama. I felt like Saban would go back to the NFL. Now I don't. I do believe Saban will retire.
Alabama.
Yeah. And so we'll see. But as long as Saban's there, it doesn't matter what anybody else in the SEC does. It really doesn't. Fuck Auburn.
Underrated Outcast for $2. Keep up the good work on roasting LeBron James. Well, thank you, Underrated Outcast. I'm glad the NBA's back. That's all I'll say. Not because I actually want to watch it this year, but because we can keep making fun of LeBron James. That's always a good thing. All right, guys, but it is we've gone a little bit over where we intended, but thank you guys for all the support, all the super chats, all the likes, all the shares, all the comments, everything. You guys are awesome. Oh, another one from Mr. J. Harden dropped 44 points with 17 assists in overtime loss to Portland. If he gives the team a chance, I think the Rockets have a damn good squad. I think that if I'm James Harden, I give it a chance, because I think that Mike D'Antoni is a dog shit coach, honestly. I think that he should give it an actual legitimate chance instead of just crying and whining. Like, so far, like,
but Mike D'Antoni's not there.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
Because since Mike D'Antoni's finally gone with a new head coach, I think you should give it a chance.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You haven't really given it a chance with this team, with these players.
And he didn't even play with the players last night because the Rockets had like 4 players on COVID restrictions.
Now you got John Wall, Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins is what he was. But I think it'll be an interesting dynamic with John Wall and James Harden. I don't think it will work, but I think he owes it to himself and to his team to give it a chance. They're giving him a lot of money. So
yeah,
that's kind of how I see it. But everybody, listen, I will say this. Everyone that's gone to go play with him has kind of left and been better. The Russell Westbrook experiment didn't work. We'll see how he goes in Washington. Chris Paul came in to play with him. Chris Paul goes to OKC, and OKC plays way better than anyone thought they would have as soon as Chris Paul leaves. I just think that James Harden, I don't think he's going to be able to play well with many people that also need the ball.
No.
But he has a lot of assists. But what I'm saying is that he needs the ball in his hand in order to do things. He doesn't work well off ball.
He's just not he's not a team player. He's a very self-centered type of player. And he's terrible when it comes to the clutch moments in the playoffs. He's absolutely garbage.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there, but it's interesting. Keep in mind, no doubt, he doesn't have a lot of options to actually get traded to. But thank you guys. John, thanks for being with us. I know you probably got your food already there and it's cold because
I'm gonna have to microwave it.
Yeah, exactly. we wouldn't let you
blame
talk.
Tebow. Blame Tebow.
Yeah, it is Tim Tebow's fault. Jeremy, as always, go fuck yourself. But thanks for hanging out, guys. Go watch football if you want. And
sorry for the Geeks and Gamers echo chamber, guys. We've been agreeing so much in the last few live streams. We'll argue more. We promise. Twitter says it's an echo chamber. I'll fix it.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for the people that were upset that we were shouting, for the people that were upset at the swear words.
Modern Warfare 2 lobby. Again, that's the standard. Okay. If you are upset because we yelled during an argument, you couldn't handle a Modern Warfare 2 lobby. That's it right there. That's the standard.
Yeah, we truly apologize for all the arguing and all the swearing. We'll never do it on this channel again, I promise. And we'll talk to you later. Peace.